Before joining Debrief, I was a young, aspiring filmmaker who had just wrapped up making a beautiful documentary with an amazing team, excited for the prospects of the South African film industry. So, hearing the news of Showmax shutting down truly was so heart-shattering, as the barriers to entry within the film industry remain so high, and Showmax was one of the few platforms heavily investing in African talent and storytelling. I knew I could not be the only one feeling this way, so we reached out to some young, aspiring talent to hear what they think the future of African production will be.
So I definitely think that African storytelling is going to be sort of like in a crisis, because Showmax was the only one that was giving like the authentic African storytelling. Yes, we still have DSTV, but people have moved on from DSTV, and Showmax was the only thing under multi-choice that people were still connected to. If Showmax is out of multi-choice, the one thing that connected people to African storytelling is now gone.
As I'm sure you've heard by now, MultiChoice, which owned Showmax, was purchased by French-owned Canal Plus. We then came to know that Showmax was said to have made a loss of 2.6 billion in 2024, doubling that figure in 2025 and making a loss of 4.9 billion, ultimately causing the decision to shut it down. But while the choice makes complete sense from the cost perspective, some young filmmakers are still worried about the raised barriers to entry that will exist now that the streaming giant is gone.
I have two emotions that I'm feeling about the industry. One is a huge bit of devastation. The pathways to entry that everyone else in the industry has used for so long, they're closing up.
However, not all hope seems to be lost.
But at the same time, I'm a bit excited because you have the streamers that are trying to adapt as much as possible. And a lot of the times, the younger creatives are the ones that are on the forefront of that. These newer companies, rather, they know and understand that they need more young talent.
While so many people remain nervous, time will tell how the youth enter the South African film industry going forward and how Canal Plus chooses to invest or divest in African stories and African talent.